Hey guys, it's Karl. Welcome back to another $50 episode, or I guess $50 tech in 2022. A pretty successful first vid that I launched was $20 tech in this year. I'll leave it linked up this way, I can never remember. But this is all around budget tech that can help you save your wallet, save some extra money, because I know things are getting super expensive. So in this episode, we'll go through some of the best tech that you can snag on budget. And as always, I try to hook you guys up with one of the items to give away. So just be sure to sub to the channel, leave one comment, down below in the comment section, and of course don't fall for any of the spam. Follow me over on social, mostly on Instagram and Twitter, as that's where I'll be corresponding to get your shipping info. I'll announce the winners by my next episode, so just be sure to sub. Can't ask for anything more than that. And let's get started with the first $50 item. I believe we have 5 different categories today. We'll start off with accessories first. $50 accessories. So the first ones we have on deck is stuff from Apple. You guys know that I'm a pretty big iOS user, so I've got my 13 Pro Max as my daily. The first one is just the leather case and of course MagSafe combo that you can get. And these are updated this year, especially the MagSafe wallet. This will actually let you track this on the Find My app. So in case you lose it with all your cards inside and this is floating around somewhere, you can always track it on app. I will say that Apple does come out with some really nice, really soft and supple leather accessories. They age really well. The patina over it is nice. Still on the expensive side, spending $50 on a case, but if you want to keep things Team Apple, you of course get that nice logo, and of course you get all the proper MagSafe accessories. In my $20 episode, we took a look at knockoff accessories, and I found that the magnets weren't as strong. Obviously, Apple builds them the best, and these are sturdy, they're strong, and they won't fall off. So this is definitely a solid combo, and as an example, I've got the smaller 13 Mini here. This is actually editor's Nick's wallet combo, and you can see the smaller size, so you can pick depending which size you prefer. He's on the Mini, I'm on the Pro Max. The size choices are up to you.
At least I cleaned it up.
And for those of you into the crypto space, this is still technically a wallet. This is just a hardware wallet. This one is from Trezor specifically. So obviously investing into crypto is totally up to you. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but as a little reference, I'm big into ETH, a little bit into Bitcoin, and something called Hex. I'll leave my portfolio for you guys to check out. But in terms of security, if someone manages to get into your wallet, your money is gone, and the only person that you can cry to is yourself. No one will essentially help you, and having a hardware wallet like this just keeps your crypto money more secure. So how this kind of works, your seed phrase will be stored on an actual hardware device rather than floating around on a physical piece of paper, or the worst thing, you have it stored somewhere on your computer. So someone could technically hack your computer, get your seed phrase, do even a SIM swap. I've seen horror stories on Reddit where people lose hundreds of millions of dollars. So if you are into crypto, the best thing to do is spend around $50 for an actual hardware wallet. You won't regret it, and just keep your money safe because you don't want to end up losing it. Last but not least, for other accessories underneath that $50 mark, I think a lot of you know I'm a pretty big stationery guy, and these are expensive for what they are. So this is essentially my unboxing knife, and this is a pen for jotting down notes. Both are from GroveMade, both are made out of stainless steel. I think they're absolutely beautiful. They have this really nice, thick, and hefty heft. They're heavy. They feel nice in the hand. There's just something so satisfying about writing with an actual pen and paper, and I typically jot down all my notes, all my ideas for YouTube or even for my business here, and they just make those ideas stick a bit more than typing them out on, say, a keyboard or computer. It's something old school, it's something analog, which I am a fan of, and just having nice stationery. Once again, I know that these are expensive, but if you are a bit of a nerd about that kind of stuff, if you geek out about stationery like me, this is your stationery to look at. Next off, on to travel accessories. And I know that travel is just becoming a bit more normal now. Hopefully COVID, wherever you are, is kind of in remission, kind of going down. So I myself went to CES at the beginning of the year. I'm actually heading to MWC in Barcelona. And with me, I always carry these little travel packs. Both of these are from AirSF, a company that I also kind of swear by. They're just essentially little travel organizers. So I typically put all my cables, all of my free floating things in my bag into these little travel pouches. And as you can kind of see here, we've got a hard drive, we've got some extra cables, and this just keeps your stuff organized so they're not floating around in the bottom of your bag. AirSF has a couple of them. This one's actually a limited edition one with the orange lining, which I'm always the biggest fan of. So if you can snag them if they're currently in stock, they're made out of ballistic nylon. They are somewhat waterproof, not fully water resistant, so they do keep your stuff safe. And in terms of an actual travel pack, under $50, we do have one from OnePlus. This is simply just called their Traveler's Backpack, and OnePlus, typically known for coming out with phones, they make some pretty sleek and minimal accessories. So for a bag, this one I'm cheating a bit. It's around that $55-ish, $60 mark. They're sometimes on sale. Super, super minimal. You can actually see just the little OnePlus logo. They've got this nice little faux leather finish on the bottom to help keep it dry if you put it in a puddle, as an example. They've got a little laptop sleeve. They got some nice little red accessory details on the inside for draw zippers. And yeah, overall, pretty solid for around that $50 mark. You can't really beat it. And it's kind of nice when you do travel, other techies will kind of see the OnePlus bag, and there's been multiple times where people are like, yo, that's a pretty dope bag. I didn't know that OnePlus made it, and you can kind of geek out on tech, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, next off, we are into the sound/smart speaker space. I find that this is the sweet spot if you're just getting into smart home tech. So I'm gonna go through a couple different options. I'll just go through them really quickly from all of the major OEMs. So the first one, I think this needs no intro. This is the Google Nest Mini. This thing sells for around $39 to $40, and often during Christmas sales, Google just give these away. If you buy one of their phones, if you actually buy any of their accessories, they include these as just little bonus gift items. So if you wanna wait till then, you can do it. If not, they sell right now for around $40. And I think they're awesome to have around the house if you need multiple of them. They're small, compact, and Google is by far the best smart assistant. Siri can suck it, Bixby can suck it. Amazon is getting better, but I will still give the crown title to Google Assistant. Next off, the HomePod Mini. Obviously, I gotta include this because it's orange, and Apple somehow released a speaker around that $50 mark, which I'm still really shocked by. The one weird thing I would say is the cable is kind of stuck to the speaker. You can't unplug it, so it isn't the best in case you want to swap out the cable, in case this actually frays or breaks. Your speaker is essentially broken. But when they did drop, they did come out with a couple different colorways. Obviously, I grabbed mine in orange. They're okay if you are tied to the Apple ecosystem. If you can get by with using Siri, I think they're awesome. I think that's a problem in its own because most people can't get by with Siri because he is clueless, but you can actually pair a couple of these, create a little stereo pairing, and I've actually seen people use them on their desk as their dedicated speakers. That's up to you to decide. The next one is from Amazon. This is the Echo Show 5. I believe they still sell these. I think there's an updated model, but if anything, this has just come down in price. So if you are Team Alexa, if you are Team Amazon, I think this is a great integration. And of course, the best part, this actually has a display as opposed to the other two, which don't. So this will actually show you the time, and it'll actually show you some valuable information, and it's still around that $50 mark, which is awesome. Bluetooth speaker recommendations. So you can either go the really cheap route, $20, $25 off of Amazon, or spend a little bit more money, around $50, get a name brand like this LG X Boom. Even though it's still small and compact, so it can fit into your bag, it still gives you a nice solid kick of bass. It does have a USB-C charger on the side, which you kind of open up this flap, and it is water resistant. So you can bring it to the beach, you can bring it with you wherever you travel with. So I think these are awesome for the money, and of course, the sound that they produce for the size. And for actual headphones, around $50, these are the OnePlus Buds. So the one drawback, they aren't active noise canceling. You'll see that they don't have silicone tips, but if these fit your ears, I would like them to the OG AirPods kind of sizing. If they fit, these will fit, and for $50, if you're someone prone to losing your headphones all the time, especially the wireless earbuds ones, I definitely think these are worth it for around that $40-ish, $50 mark. Next off, we are gonna switch into the camera space. So I think this is actually great for creators or anyone that's looking to create any sort of content. So the first one is a lav mic. So we all know that using a built-on mic on, say, any of these cameras will actually switch to some camera audio right now. You'll hear how shitty it is compared to the boom mic that we have. If you want to stay on budget and you want a lav mic, this is one from Boya, and under $50, that's pretty hard to find a wireless mic solution. The only drawback I would say is they do take AA batteries, but that's also a blessing and a curse, because if you run out of juice, you can always swap them out easier than having to wait to charge it up. So that's really an option up to you, and it will definitely sound way better than your built-in audio. Next, in that photography space, we'll quickly look at a couple of little mini tripods. So one is more for mobile use. This is the Manfrotto mini tripod, 25 bucks, so it's way cheaper. But if you pair that with a little smartphone connector, I think you can build this entire thing, obviously without the phone, for around that $30, $35 mark. So I think this is great for content creators if you're looking to vlog. Obviously your phone would actually be flipped around, so probably something like this. You can use this to set up a live stream if you want, even kind of articulate it on your desk, however, if you want. And if you are using an actual camera with an actual plate, check out this little combo. So each of these are actually $50 on their own, or I guess the tripod is around $40-ish. This is just a little mini table tripod. Once again, you can articulate this on your desk, and having a fluid head. So this is the 501 fluid head for Manfrotto. I know that they're a bit old now, but these ones are just built like absolute tanks. And once you actually have a camera on here, getting all these silky smooth panning shots becomes so much easier, so much better than using a camera handheld. So if you want nice silky B-roll, nice smooth pan or tilts, just having something as simple as this is pretty awesome. Okay, last section for $50 tech, we're getting into the gaming part. This is kind of my favorite. So obviously PlayStation 5, but what we're showing here are the little plates on the front. So these are the Dark Plates 2.0s from Dbrand. You can actually see a bit of venting. PlayStation contacted Dbrand, mentioned that their original plates look too similar, so they had to change them up. And a cool little fact, we'll show a little macro shot on the inside. It's actually binary written down. Someone actually corrected me on one of my previous episodes. It has the cease and desist letter from PlayStation. So obviously the trolls over at Dbrand, the robots, are just kind of going off, which I think is kind of cool. For the PlayStation 5, I'll throw one game in that now costs 50 bucks. This is the new Spider-Man game. This was one of their OG launch titles, and it's come down now to 50 bucks. And I know people that kind of swear by PlayStation just for the Spider-Man games. And as a little bonus, PlayStation just bought Bungie this past week. I think that they're trying to keep up to Xbox that bought Blizzard. I know that this was probably in the works for the past couple months, but the only game I'm thinking out of Bungie right now is Destiny. Obviously 343 bought Halo, or owns the Halo franchise. So I think they spent, what was it, $3 billion for Destiny? I'll keep my thoughts to myself. I think it'll just become like a content war eventually. I think it'll be interesting to see who grabs Epic next to kind of own the rights for Fortnite. I can only imagine that what that deal would cost, and maybe EA. That would be like $100 billion deal. So yeah, I think EA will just be that massive behemoth that everyone will be racing to. Whoever grabs that, I think, will be the winner in the long run. But we will see in the end. Leave your votes. Who do you think will buy EA, Nick?
Probably Microsoft.
I think so too. I
feel like that just fits.
I'm Team Xbox all the way, so I would be happy with that. Not saying that all EA games would be exclusives, but having them on Game Pass would be nice. That's actually a perfect little intro to the next part. So obviously controllers, like I mentioned, I am Team Xbox, so picking up any of these Xbox controllers, they're around that $50, $60 mark. They go on sale sometimes. Obviously, we've got a PlayStation 5 controller, which I will say is around 70 bucks, but I will give huge props to PlayStation. This is the best controller that you can get for next-gen gaming. The haptics on it, the feedback is great, and the fact that Xbox controllers, for whatever reason, still use AA batteries, that is an argument on its own, but yeah, still giving PlayStation huge props. And of course, we just have a keyboard. I wouldn't say this is necessarily gaming. It is a mechanical keyboard. This one is from Keychron. How could I forget that? They have that little iconic orange escape button. Once again, around $50. They have different ones. So the K2, K1 models I know are a bit cheaper, and you can go all the way up to a K3 or K4. Last but not least, let's clear all this off. Still gaming related, but untech-ish. They don't really have an on button. The last ones, had to throw in some nostalgia in there. So like I said, still gaming related, but not really I guess, techie because they don't really have on buttons. I guess this one does. If you could reconnect all of this, this is simply a Grid Studios art piece, and it has the OG Game Boy Color inside. So for all of you that played Pokemon growing up as kids, that was, the game that I used to play every day at recess with all my friends. This brings back so many memories, and Grid Studios creates different pieces of art using older pieces of tech. So I think this is a great gift for yourself, mostly for any of your friends that are into kind of stuff like this. I cannot wait to hang this up in my new studio, in the new spot. I've got a ton of different Grid Studios art pieces. And last but not least, I was actually flipping through my desk and I just happened to see this sitting there. This is a Hyrule Historia book. So it goes through some of the most iconic Zelda games, obviously my favorite video game series of all time, gives you a lot of fan art, gives you a bit of a history around the games, and just a fun little read. I find that actual books are just hard to come by these days. Everyone just reads the content on the net, but having something nice like this, seeing all the OG artwork is just so nostalgic, so nice to see. And yeah, once again, a solid gift idea, I think, for anyone around that $50 mark. But anyways, that is all of the tech or budget tech around $50. So hopefully you found something useful. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And remember, if you want to win one of the things, just be sure to sub to the channel, leave that one comment down below. Follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, all that good social stuff. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this second episode of the budget series for 2022. We'll catch the rest of you in one of my next episodes. Peace.